Okay, we skied in to our base camp, which is 8,000 feet on the east flank of Lassen Peak. And we skied from the road. Alex was carrying a traditional pack, a backpack, and I carried my food and equipment in an expedition sled, which I bought some years ago, probably 12 or 14 years ago, from a company, I think it was in Colorado. It's a fiberglass shell with aluminum struts and aluminum runners on the bottom. And the reason I have to use this is I have a weak left knee, and so it won't take the weight. This sled was, we were able to maneuver this sled through some very rough terrain involving steep snowy slopes, little ravines, even some willow brush, and it worked extremely well. And I just wanted to do a little video clip here to tell you, number one, what the advantages are, and number two, how we altered it, or I altered it so that it would maneuver even better in the backcountry on skis. So let me show you up close what we did to make this sled perform even better. Okay, when it was delivered, the sled had a certain configuration. That is that the yoke, which you can see here, and you can come on, a camera guy, you can come on in here a little closer. The yoke is fastened to the bottom of the sled with stainless steel bolts and nuts. But this piece was all one piece. In other words, the strut actually telescoped into this piece of the yoke, and so it was all one piece. And I tried it on a trip, and it didn't seem to maneuver quite as well as I thought it could. So I suggested to my neighbor, Joe Scafidi, who is quite a machinist, that if we cut this portion here and put in a stainless steel bolt with a nut that had a nylon bushing, so that not only does the yoke articulate up and down, but it'll go left and right. I thought that would improve maneuverability. So what's happened is that what I found out on this trip, my wife, was that when I'm maneuvering in small confined spaces like timber and that sort of thing, the modification actually allows the sled to move more closely with my movement. So, in other words, if I want to turn left, you see the sled starts pointing in this direction. If I want to turn right, again, it heads off in that direction. It makes it a lot easier to handle, especially if you have about a 40 or 50 pound pack in the sled. The other thing that I found helped out a lot was to increase the depth of the runners. Again, my neighbor Joe Scafidi helped me with this by following my specifications for a thicker runner, which he riveted to the bottom as the original equipment was. And what that did was it held the sled steadier on the steeper snow slopes. In other words, it prevented it to some degree from penduluming down like this. This still has a tolerance of about 35 degrees before it actually starts to tip over. It's not so much a matter of sliding as it is a matter of the weight just tipping it over. But these modifications, I think, have made it a much more efficient piece of gear for backcountry skiing.